All right, shalom, shalom. Want to say call halal Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakodash, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the apostles and elders at GMS to rule well. Peace and blessings to the Akim that's out there fighting, doing this work with truth and sincerity. Back here again with another lesson. Lord willing, this is edifying to the elect men out there that are listening and watching these videos. We're back in town from the Denver trip out there, breaking the bread with those beautiful brothers. Man, shalom to you brothers and all the Akim, the apostles and elders, the bishops, and the man that's throughout this four corners of this earth doing the work. A little tired. And before I even left to go to Denver, these two precepts, the Spirit had it where it's like, man, in Second Ezra 15:1, it says, speak it to the ears of my people, the words of prophecy. And there's another precept in Second Ezra, Lord, when I can find, they go with how all the things that's happening on the planet Earth is taking effect, meaning the words of Yahweh Bahashim Habashah has been taking effect since the prophets of old. And now be back around in these times, the word of the Lord is running swiftly because now we're able to see the effects, the words of Yahweh Bahashim Habashah through his men back then and now. King Mashah, Abba Bivens, High Priest Shai, see all now is starting down to the apostles and the bishops and the elders now. You see? They have the Apostle Har, Apostle Ranla, Apostle Kabah, Apostle Ka, and all the bishops and the men now. And the prophets of ancient times, the same word that the Lord has given is running swiftly through generations and generations. Now it's starting to take effect. So it was taking effect back then. Now we know it's taking effect now because the Lord pulled us out of darkness. Now we're able to see because we didn't understand prophecy. I can speak for myself. I didn't understand anything about prophecy when I was in the world. Now the Lord put me on this path and allowing me to see. Now I understand what that means now. The words prophet, the Lord prophets is prophecies now. The jet lag. The Lord's prophecies is taking effect, and the word prophecy means to say something before it takes place. So now you're starting to see the economy is bad. You're starting to hear more about wars and rumors of war and how intense that's getting, and it's going to lead to the third world war. You're seeing now the inflation of the money and the food prices. It was going on back then. So the word Lord, the word of the Lord always was flying swiftly and making things happen in the earth. It changes things. It moves things around. And he's doing it for the elect of his people, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that's deemed to be saved, out of the perilous time that is coming. You see? So once we was in the darkness, we didn't understand prophecy. I didn't understand prophecy. Now you're able to see these things. Now we privy to the prophecies and we seeing what's going on, how the economy is going to crash, how with all these disease is, how the food is tainted, how the air is tainted, how the water is not healthy for you, and how the manner of the rulers are that rule the earth now. Just look at the people on the planet now. And we understand and see and know these things by the spirit of prophecy from Yahweh Bahashim Abshai. And famine is coming. Persecution of the prophets is coming. Uproars of the people. So now, at first, when I was watching the news just in general, I'm like, damn, this is crazy. Didn't have no idea, but now we see it through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashim Abshai. So right here in Psalms 147:15, it says, he sendeth forth his commandment, which is his judgments. Upon the earth, his word runneth very swiftly. And it's running, again, started with the ancient prophets on up till today. Those words ran swiftly back then, took down all the kingdoms that was ruling back then. The Greeks, the Romans, the Pees, and the Persian, the Medes, the Syrians, Assyrians, so on and so forth. The same word is about to swiftly bring judgment unto this place because that's the commandment of Yahweh Bahashim Habashah, because this place has reached the height in wickedness, and it's going to get even worse of seeing wickedness in this place. So this place is no different than the ancient places or the ancient kingdoms back then. So the same word that was kept in store is going to be the same word now that's going to bring destruction to this place. Psalms 147 and 15. He sendeth forth his commandment upon the earth. His word runneth very swiftly. You see? That's why I haven't even planned on getting that precept. The Spirit had me to start with this, but made me go to that first. And this is the precept to that. The Psalms 147 and 15 goes to this, because the Lord has his men out on the highways and byways, and the same prophets of old was doing the same thing that we doing now, meaning the spirits of the prophets are back today to what? 2 Ezra 15 and 1. Look, the word behold, meaning look, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy. The same thing that was happening back during the ancient times with the ancient prophets that was before us. You see, the same thing happening now. They were speaking prophecy in the ears of the Lord's people then. So the same word that's kept in store is the same word we're teaching you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, those who sincere about hearing this word and understanding by the Lord, pulling you out of darkness into his marvelous light, meaning to comprehend something that is not of this earth. You're able to see what's really happening. So we out on the highways and byways and doing these videos, speaking into the ears of his people the words of prophecy to tell you what's about to come. They come into your homes, taking you out of homes. They want to put the C-hip in you. They got the concentration camps. They got the guillotine. You know, it's gonna be war. Gonna be people breaking into people's homes for lack of resources. Inflation is gonna go high. I mean, the money basically is being devoured every day. It's not worth anything. But the people here are not even privy or to be able to see these things like us. You know, I was out in Denver and I'm just looking at the people. They just walk. It's like, man, bro, the scriptures is on point. It says it as in the days of Noah. So they was eating and drinking. It's the same thing today, but that same word was still being broadcast, and it brought destruction to those ancient kingdoms. And look at how this place is being crumbled every day. Look at the infrastructure. You can tell the kingdomized infrastructure. If the infrastructure is decaying and weak, that's one part of it. Look at how the people are acting, especially you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. 2/3 of y'all. Just look. If you look at the people, then you know we're at the end. Just pay attention. So he says, behold, meaning look, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. And we are here warning you again, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native America, of things to come, because in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30 and 7, it speaks about the time of Jacob's trouble, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. There's a clip up here for educational purposes only that I'm going to play. The brother Sha'ar had put it in the chat. He did a lesson on it as well. I didn't know he did a lesson on it until I went back to click on it. And then, but I played this first, and it brought me to go through these precepts of 2 Ezra 15 and 1, Psalms 147 and 15. And I'm going to get another one, because the things that we're speaking is making things move in the planet, man. Hurricanes, and because we're speaking the words of Yahweh Bahashim Habashai, his words is bringing judgment upon this place and bringing salvation to the elect of his people, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, whom he redeemed out of sleep and brought them back to him and set them on his path. And those that ask him to teach me to walk that path, where you able to lead and exit out into salvation, because the times that we're living in and the times that's approaching, it's going to get worse. It's going to take faith, man. You can't teach enough about faith. You can't. You can quote 1,000 scriptures. You might be the eloquent teacher. You might break down every book in the scriptures. But if that faith ain't tight, when all hell break loose, man, bro. So, you know, then next week got the Day of Atonement, another high holiday for the Israelites, man. We in one now, the blowing of the trumpets, but the Sabbath ends tonight. So there's things that's happening, and the Lord showing us signs on the planet to know that he's getting closer, that he's near. So we warned you before it get worse for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. because the words we preaching are powerful. You see, I can read down. I was just going to tie these two precepts with this one. I remember Pastor Rowlaw went over this, and this stuck to me, man. I never can forget this. This whole book is bad. This chapter is bad as well. So as I'm telling you through the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Abishai, as it's written, the word of the Lord running swiftly, it brought judgment back to those ancient kingdoms, and it's catching up. It has caught up to this kingdom today. That's why you see the things that are happening on the planet today, because the speech is making these things. Just mere words. That's another scripture. Mere words of Yahweh B'Shem Abishai can cause a disruption in the earth, man. 2nd Ezra 6:16. And why? Because the speech of these things trembleth and is moved. Why? Because we speak in the words of Yahweh B'Shem Abishai. That's why I said, speak in the ears of my people the words of prophecy. And as I read in Psalms 41, 47, and 15, his judgment, his word runs swiftly through the planet. Now I want to get that in the NLT real quick. Psalms 147 and 15 in the NLT. He sent his orders to the world, how swiftly his word flies. You see, it's an order, man. So things are happening on the planet because there's an order from Yahweh B'Shem Yahawashi, man, that these things must take place. And over here it says, why? Because the speech of these things trembleth and is moved, for it knoweth that the end of these things must be changed. The end of this rulership, this kingdom, this society must be uprooted, man. Because it's too far gone. It's too much wickedness. Our people not going to change. They don't want to turn from their wicked ways. That's why he said 2/3 are going to be eliminated. Only 144,000, 1/3 of some men, women, and children is going to be delivered. So there's no sense for this kingdom to keep going on. So this mere words, the speech of Yahweh B'Shem Yahawashi, it causing things to move in the earth. You see? Starting to make people hate the Israelites who are out there speaking on the highways and byways. Other groups speaking against the men of the Lord of GMS and the men on down, right? Because prophecy is making things happen in the planet, is making things move. You see? Things trembled. And it says, and it happened that when I heard it, I stood up upon my feet. So when we heard these things, the words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahawashi, and we see things that's happening on the planet according to prophecy, so we see it, and he said he heard it and stood up. And Ezra said that he stood upon his feet. He seen the things too. And listen, mean to hearken, mean to listen. And behold, mean to look. There was a voice that spake, and the sound of it was like the sound of many waters. Who you think that was? The spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Abishai, man. It said Yahawashi voice was deep, like many water. It was that deep. You see? And it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth. This is what's happening right now. The words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahawashi is moving things and causing things to move to the point it's bringing our Lord Yahawashi and holy angels to come nigh and draw closer to this place, man. Because of the sins and the wickedness and the idolatry and the witchcraft and the whoredom that the Lord's people, our people, continue to do. And these heathens. He's sick of it. And you need to be afraid, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. I'm still afraid, and the Lord got me on his path, man. You see? So when things break out and things get dire, what are you going to do? This is for educational purpose only, man.
If we truly have an outage that is nationwide, that lasts 9 months, the EMP Commission, they found that as many as 90% of Americans would die.
90% of Americans, that's what's 90% of 360 million people.
Yeah, so it's like 300 million. So
300 million people wiped off the map, just like that. And how long did you say that would take?
9 months.
9 months? And what does it look like if our power grid goes down?
So it really becomes almost zombie apocalypse. And it's horrific. because we think about loosening the rule of law. And so we have George Carlin, a clip from, one of his comedy tours in the movie. And he says, you can't count on the police or the National Guard. They'll be at home protecting their own family.
You see?
If we truly have an outage.
Because the words of prophecy, which is Yahweh Bahashem Habashai, is moving swiftly on the planet, man. You're going to have outages. You're going to have the internet being cut off, your phone service being cut off. And all you're going to have, for those who's listening to these videos and waking up to who they are, the only thing you're going to have is your faith in Yahweh Bahashem Habashai and what's been taught unto us, man. We're going to be uncomfortable. Discomfort is coming. That's why it says also in, I think it's 1 Peter's. I'm going to try that. First or 2 Peter. I think it's 1 Peter's 1. I think it's 2 Peter's 1, I think. He said he beseech you, meaning to beg you to be pilgrims upon the earth, man. You see? And this is what's coming on the planet. So it also speaks about, according to prophecy, detaching from this place mentally, spiritually. Yeah, you take care of your kids, your family, whatever. Just do what you need to do, but don't be all solely enthralled in your woman and in your children. Because the time is coming, man. It's going to get gruesome out here. And we're going to have to be able to stand because we're going to be in the eye of the storm. We don't know when the Lord going to give men spiritual powers. You might have to have a little bag prepped, a few canned goods, this, that, and the third, or some boots, cargo pants, a tent, and sleeping bag. You might have to grab your bag and go. You see? But we also do know, according to prophecy through the Spirit and power of Yahweh by Shema B'Shai, that his servants shall eat, right? Because they stood stiffly upon their feet. Some of us gonna be martyrs. You see? So we have to really fully focus on the task at hand, and to strengthen ourselves in Yahweh Bahashem Yahawashi. Do right, Lord. When I do right by the brotherhood, just keep pushing forward the right way. We've been given the instructions in the path to walk upon, so we have to ask the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahawashi to give us the proper guidance to walk His path. Remember, He took us out of our wicked path and put us on this path, which is righteousness, which is an exit that leads to salvation. You see? So I was just thinking about those precepts. It's been poking at me. And it's like, man, things are happening because of mere speech. Why? Because the speech of these things is trembling for making things happen on the planet, which the speech is the words of Yahweh Bahashem Yahawashi, man. And to go out on the highways and byways and speak into the ears of His people the words of prophecy. We tell you everything that the Lord allowed us to understand and sharing it with you about martial law, how society go break down. As written in scripture, man shall desire to go into another city and can't. They want to see hip you. If you get to see hip, the Lord will destroy you. We saying not to take it. To go through or go put people in concentration camps. It's so on and so forth, man. Society is going to break down. Part of society going to be fully functioning because people go take the see hip. But the elect of the nation of Israel is not going to take it. The Lord going to give them provision and a pavilion, meaning protection, when time come. We have to show our due diligence now, Lord willing, and able to, man, Lord keep His hand upon us, So that's a quick lesson through the Spirit and power of Yahweh by Shema B'Shai. Lord willing, I hope this was edifying. Until the next time, I shall say, Shalom.